Hi everyone, welcome to question 13 of the Q&A. This is the second question about ensembles, rehearsing, group rehearsing and all those sorts of things. So the question this time is, when rehearsing with other people, what should the rehearsals accomplish? What is the musician's responsibility outside of group rehearsals so as to not waste people's time? With this one, it's there's a couple of things to address. In rehearsals, there should be, for the whole project, there should be so many goals. Obviously, there's the end goal, and then you have like little goals on the way to get to where you want. It's like anything in life. You want to save for a house, and you need, 20,000 for a deposit for a number. You have little milestones, don't you? £1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5, 10, however you want to break it down. So it's the same with this. You'll have your end performance, recording, something along those lines. And in between that, you'll have the milestone where you've learnt one piece, you've learnt two pieces, you've learnt three, however many you're doing, or just the one piece. And you'll get to the point where you can all play it together at a certain tempo. And then you can play it together, and this time you can memorize it. You don't need music, etc., etc. So a rehearsal should really sort of entail several, or if it's a bigger goal, several or one goal in that rehearsal. That by the end of that rehearsal, you should have achieved those things. Obviously, the goals then need to be set out logically for this to work. That's things that you can work out, and the more you do it, the more you practice being a leader or even just an ensemble member, the more you see these things working. There's that really. Outside of the rehearsals, musicians really should be taking time to look at their music. If it's an ensemble that's not an original band or an improv band that you're creating music in the actual rehearsals. If you have pre-written music, or you're playing by ear or chord charts, however you're learning, give the musicians a chance and resources to listen to other performances of what you're intending on recreating. And if it is an originals band or an improv band, send out also resources of what you're roughly trying to sound like, and then at least people can have an idea of what they're aiming for, and maybe play along to those to get a feel for it. So there's those things that people can do. As a leader myself, I tend to send music out as early as I possibly can to musicians. Learning music in advance is really good, because I'm guilty of it, and I've been in rehearsals where other people have not looked at their music, and the first rehearsal just doesn't go very well because of it, because you're just stuck. You can't push. It's okay having bits you're not quite good at, the odd bar or section that you're finding a bit tricky. That's fine. We're human. We're not amazing at everything, but having a general idea of what you're playing is really good. Another idea that's really good for running a project, an ensemble, band, whatever you want to call it, is holding like a rehearsal zero, a term that I don't know how widely it's used, but definitely my lecturer, Murphy McCaleb, shout out to him. He uses it quite regularly and does it with all of his projects he's been running. So you essentially hold like a chat, meeting, discussion, whatever you want to call it, to discuss and maybe have a PowerPoint or something, and show people what you're expecting of them in the rehearsal, what you're planning on doing, what the overall goals are, all those sorts of things. And it gives potential participants or actual participants, if you've definitely decided on who you're having, a chance to see what is expected of them and what they should be doing. It also gives them a chance to give feedback. So, if you don't quite know how to lead a rehearsal so far down the line, you don't know whether to put it in sections and split the band up a bit for the week, you can speak to them and say, would you actually benefit from this? Do you think you'll benefit, or is there no point in doing this? and you can get a bit of input from the ensemble members themselves, and it gives them a sense of ownership, which is really good. People enjoy that, rather than just being sheep, essentially, and following people. So you can also ask them how they want to learn the piece. Do they want to just learn by reading sheet music? Will they find having audio files helpful? Would they like to sing their parts? That's something I used to do in ensembles, sing the parts to see, even if it wasn't very tuneful. Clapping the rhythms so you can hear how they interlock without having pitches involved as well, just merely rhythm. And does repetition work? Those sort of things. So in a nutshell, rehearsals should have manageable goals that push the group in the right direction. And then that way rehearsals don't become either too much of a social event, but they also don't become too challenging that makes it far too frustrating for the participants involved. Okay. Right, yeah, that was quite a long one, but I hope it all helps you. Cheers, bye.